Welcome to the world of stories. This is HRB Verse, where every story is real, heartfelt, and unforgettable. Subscribe now and become part of a journey you'll never forget. I'm a 30-year-old man, and my 28-year-old fiancée and I had been together for 4 years, engaged for 1. Our wedding was approaching, and we were finalizing seating charts at home when she accidentally called me by another man's name. Her coworker, let's call him Ethan. To say I was shocked is an understatement. I froze and asked, "What did you just call me?" Her face went pale, and she tried to brush it off as a stress-induced mistake, laughing nervously. But Ethan isn't just any name. He's a colleague she'd grown close to recently, and I'd had uneasy feelings about their bond. There were subtle signs, late-night texts about non-work matters, private office jokes she'd mention, and once I noticed a heart emoji next to his name on her phone. When I'd questioned her, she insisted they were just friends and I was overreacting. I wanted to trust her, but calling me Ethan while we planned our wedding set off alarms. I stayed calm, didn't lash out, but went quiet. She kept apologizing, blaming wedding stress, but I felt sick. If it was nothing, why was his name so ready on her lips? My gut screamed emotional infidelity, even if it hadn't turned physical. I had no proof of anything more, but the way she glowed when mentioning him or smiled at his texts, things I'd overlooked amid wedding excitement, now felt like betrayal. I started questioning her love. I'm financially stable with a good job covering our dreams. A nice apartment, a car, a lavish honeymoon. She always seemed thrilled about our comfortable future, but now I wondered if she was marrying me for security, not love. Was her heart with Ethan? It's a gut-wrenching thought. The wedding, a $18,000 event for 150 guests, was nearly paid for venue, catering, everything. Canceling would be a costly mess, with deposits lost and guests inconvenienced, but how could I proceed? I hadn't confronted her since the slip-up. She was acting overly sweet, as if nothing happened, but I couldn't shake it. I felt humiliated, heartbroken, and angry she'd put me in this position so close to our big day. Why not confess earlier if she had feelings for Ethan? Her phone, now password protected, a recent change, added to my suspicions. I love her, or thought I did, but now I'm unsure who she is. Is she truly my partner or settling because her heart lies elsewhere? I don't trust her, and I'm not ready to marry someone I doubt. She's acting normal, emailing about cake flavors and timelines, while I've been distant, blaming work stress. I haven't told anyone yet, staring at my suit, wondering if this is all a lie. We had a strong bond built on love and trust, or so I thought. Now I'm lost, seeking perspective on what to do. I needed to vent and find clarity. Thanks for listening. Update 1. The fallout. Thank you for the responses to my original post. The advice to cancel the wedding aligned with my instincts, and a lot has unfolded. I decided quickly I couldn't marry her. To minimize drama, I planned my exit carefully. I avoided further confrontation about Ethan and kept my distance in the days before the wedding. She was staying at her parents' house, busy with preparations, while I stayed at our apartment. This made it easier to keep interactions brief and logistical. If she sensed something was off, she didn't show it, likely distracted by wedding details. The rehearsal dinner came, and I didn't attend. Instead, I packed my essentials, suit, ring, personal items, and turned off my phone to avoid the chaos. My brother, my best man, covered for me, saying I was unwell, unaware of my plan. I regret putting him in that position, but I was panicking. That morning, I left town, driving to my parents' house with a note on our kitchen counter. "I'm sorry, I can't do this." I didn't detail her betrayal, assuming she'd figure it out. Ghosting my fiancé on our wedding day was surreal, driven by pain and adrenaline. I reached my parents, turned off my phone, and crashed from emotional exhaustion. Meanwhile, the wedding venue was chaos. My family learned I wasn't coming, but my fiancé and her family arrived in full wedding attire, expecting me. She reportedly told guests I was delayed by a family emergency, perhaps saving face or genuinely believing I'd show. Guests waited awkwardly, sipping drinks, murmuring. After a while, with no groom, her mother announced the wedding was canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. I can only imagine their humiliation. I stayed at my parents', avoiding the fallout. I felt guilty picturing her in her gown, facing everyone alone, but I wasn't ready for a confrontation. When I turned on my phone, I faced a flood of angry, confused, and worried messages. My fiancé's texts ranged from "Where are you? I'm scared" to "How could you do this?" I sent a group message to key contacts. "I'm safe. I couldn't go through with it. I'll explain later." Then I turned my phone off again. I told my parents I suspected emotional cheating, keeping details vague. They were shocked but supportive, proud I avoided a bad marriage. I haven't spoken to my fiancée yet, unsure what to say. I'm angry she put me in this position, but I feel guilty for leaving her to face the mess. It was a drastic move, but I feel relief knowing it's over. I'll update on the financial fallout and her family's reaction soon. For now, I'm catching my breath. Update 2. The aftermath. I've had conversations with my ex-fiancée and others, and I need to clarify some points. On the $18,000 wedding cost, most wasn't my money. Her parents covered the bulk as a gift, which I didn't mention earlier due to my emotional state. They sent me funds for the venue and catering, wanting to surprise her. She likely thought I was paying, which may have fed her view of me as a financial catch. The money, about $15,000 from them, $3,000 from me, is mostly non-refundable. I don't care about my loss. It's minor compared to the emotional toll. Her family can handle vendor discussions later. I spoke to my ex by phone. It was emotional but calm at times. She was upset, alternating between tears and anger, asking why I humiliated her and her family. I said, "You know why? I know about Ethan." She denied physical cheating, claiming it was a friendship that crossed lines due to wedding stress. She said I was emotionally distant, working long hours, so she confided in Ethan. I admitted I was busy saving for our future, but calling me his name was unforgivable. She insisted she wanted to marry me, not for money, but I countered. It doesn't feel like love when you're fixated on another guy. She begged to meet in person, but I said the wedding was off for good. She cried as we hung up. Her texts admitted an emotional affair, saying she shared feelings with Ethan she should have shared with me. He was having relationship issues and their bond grew too close. She called the name slip a wake-up call, claiming she planned to confess after the honeymoon to avoid ruining the wedding. I shook my head. She prioritized the event over honesty. She insists she loves me, calling me stable and loving, but I see her actions as a betrayal, physical or not. Trust is gone. Her parents were furious I ghosted their daughter on their funded wedding day. Her father called, but I didn't answer. I'm still at my parents', taking time off work. My boss was understanding when I cited irreconcilable differences. I haven't returned to our shared apartment, where the lease is in both our names. She's likely with her parents. I'm numb but relieved, standing by my decision. She showed her true colors, and I deserve someone fully committed. Update 3. The confrontation. I met her parents to explain why I left, feeling they deserved the truth after their generosity. My mother came for support. It was tense. Her mother had been crying, her father visibly angry. I apologized for the pain and embarrassment, then explained her emotional affair with Ethan, the name slip, secretive texts, and my fear she was marrying me for security. I showed a text where she admitted feelings for Ethan but downplayed it. Their anger shifted to her. Her mother was devastated. Her father asked pointed questions, silently fuming. He said, "We gave her everything for this wedding, and this is how she repays us." Unexpectedly, my ex arrived, tipped off by her mother. She froze seeing me, and her father demanded if my claims were true. She deflected, calling it a friendship, but he exploded. "We spent all this money and you couldn't stay loyal?" She lashed out, saying I shouldn't have involved them. I countered, "They deserve to know." She called me a coward, and I admitted I wasn't perfect, but said her betrayal started this. My mother and I left them to argue. Later, her father called. My ex admitted the emotional affair, still claiming it wasn't physical. Her parents, furious, cut her off financially and told her to stay elsewhere indefinitely. They feel betrayed, not just by her actions, but the wasted wedding. Her father apologized to me, saying I didn't deserve this, and insisted I'm still family, even joking I shouldn't worry about the money. I offered to repay what I could, but they brushed it off. Words spreading among their relatives about why the wedding failed. My ex hasn't contacted me since that confrontation. I feel lighter with the truth out, no longer hiding her betrayal. It's a sad, dramatic end, but better now than after marriage. I'm moving forward knowing I made the right call. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.